Okay, so welcome back to the channel. If you saw the first video I did on why I quit Victoria's Secret, and watched through the whole thing, you would have saw that I said I was gonna make another video about why I quit Bed Bath & Beyond. So let me just start here with this. Bed Bath & Beyond was my very first job. I started working there in September of 2016, and you know, before I even got hired, I was out job hunting. Like, literally, I was online looking for jobs. I was on the bus early in the morning going to, I like to go to the area where the mall is because there's a lot of plazas and a lot of big stores. So, you know, that's where I preferred to go. So I did that, and I went to some other places that are closer to my house. I really was just determined to find a job for some reasons. That one in the back. I just was fed up with people not getting things and doing things they're supposed to do. People were not dependable. And, you know, when I had her, I was young, but I just got fed up with it. I ended up moving. I ended up getting a job, and I was in school doing my thing. So I'm like, hey, doing it. So I was determined to find a job. Ended up finding one. And I got the interview for Victoria's Secret. I can't remember. I applied online to something where they called me and said I had to come in and do an application, and then I would get the interview, supposedly on the spot, which I think I did, or that next morning it might have been. Came in for the interview. Everything was cool. Everything was fine. Everybody seemed nice. Da-da-da-da. And I knew I was going to get the job because she said, we'll call you. Because I said, so how do you know if someone gets the job? What do you guys call, email? She said, well, we'll call you. And da-da-da-da. So I remember, I just remember, like, okay, I know I'm getting this shit. Like, I knew it. So, I ended up going home. I felt pretty good. Look at her. Stop that. I was feeling pretty good about it. But I was still being humble about it. I didn't want to go off saying as much until I really actually got the job. So it was me and my friends. We had a movie night like September 17th. And I think I got a call for the interview like the day before. So it was like, I remember like telling everyone like I got the interview for this job, da-da-da, like that time. So it was real dope. It was cool. So, you know, I went in for the orientation, and there was two other women. There's like a really older lady, and then there's like this other girl, and she was really cool, but she was a little older too. She wasn't old as hell, but you know, she's pretty old, older than me. I had applied to do customer service, and I think I started off as cashier though, obviously. It was my first job. And, you know, honestly, I kept telling myself, like, I didn't want to do cashier because, you know, what if I mess up? What if this, that, and the other, just worrying? And, you know, I was just kind of like, okay, I just gotta do what I gotta do. Like, let me just try it out. It can't be that bad. And everyone, not everyone, but most people start out as being cashiers for retail and different other places. So it was something that I tried to get away from, to hide from, and I'm just like, I can't do it no more. Let's just do this, you know? So, long story short, I was terrified. I was terrified. There were so many, like, coupons. Like, anyone who's watching this who worked at Bed Bath & Beyond knows, or Bye Bye Baby, you know what I'm about to get into. So, there's coupons. There's 20% off, $15 off, $5 off, $10 off, which was a newer one. As I started working there at the time, it wasn't there, and 20 off of entire purchase. And mind you, these registers that they had were like old computer box computers, like the old television screens with the big fat backs. Like, we had the equipment that was just like no, it was terrible. So everything was like real old school. And then, like I said in my video before this one about Victoria's Secret, I explained to you guys that at that job, everything was more modern and was upgraded and newer. So working and catching on was fast. But at this job, everything was like, you have to do it right every time or you're going to fuck up and have to start over. And it's still things that people have been working there for years still go through, because our equipment at that store is so old. Oh, so basically, eventually, you know, when it was my very first time to work live with actual people, I was scared shitless. I wanted to cry, but it wasn't that bad. And honestly, I wanted to come in that next day just so that I can practice for free, honestly, because I wanted to get this shit right. You know, it was my first job. I was determined to get this shit right. And at the time, I was only making $9.50. That's what I put on my application. And I think minimum wage was like $9.75, but I felt like, okay, $9.50. I don't want to push too high because I am just starting and this, that, and the other. So whatever the case, that's what I got. Time goes on. I finally get to customer service. I learned that. I get comfortable with it. And everything's cool. Like, honestly, helping people learn how to save was dope. So I enjoyed that. The only thing I didn't enjoy... One second. Okay. The only thing that I didn't really enjoy was the way the store was set up. The registers are like, they're like, I don't know how to explain it. They're like, I don't know. So this is a register. This is customer service. And then we got the same type of thing going on for the cashier. So it's like this on this side and this on this side. So you're on the inside. So this is me. So what they want us to do is walk around the front all the way around and stand there and wait for customers and say, hi, have you found everything okay? Are you ready to cash out? Every customer. Every customer. And it's like, I'd rather be behind the register ready to go instead of being in front of my register all the way in the front and having to go all the way around just to come back, sign in, and start gathering stuff. And I could just be ready to go, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people can relate to this. So, basically, that was one of the most things that I hated the most. The second thing was, the management was like weird. Like, honestly, these are really like older people. And, you know, when new people came in, like, I understand, oh, this is the new guy's the new girl. But they literally talk so much shit. Especially about this one guy. And this is around the time where I was going to quit anyway, so I didn't give a shit to even be there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, you know, around the time I wanted to quit, there was a lot of people quitting too. Like, everybody's ready to just go. You know, so I had a problem. I'm like, yeah, y'all can sit there. And I was acting all funny too. I'm like, I see y'all I hear y'all talking about him. I know y'all talking about him. And it's the thing about it is they try to make it like cold. Like, I'm not stupid. I don't know about anybody else. I'm not stupid. Like, the man came here. I guess, you know, he worked a little bit slower in the back. He was a newer guy. They ended up letting him go. And he found a new job. He just came to get his last check. So, I heard people talking shit. And, you know, whatever the case, like, the man's coming to get his money. You don't have to see him again ever again. Like, let it go. You know what I'm saying? Say whatever the fuck you want. Just let it go. Like, he doesn't even work here no more. Y'all still talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. So, yeah, people was just weird. And the manager, like, she was a little extra for me. Like, honestly, a little extra. Like, I worked my ass off in that store, especially at customer service. I cleaned that dirty ass store. I swept. I made sure things were put back in place. I helped people. Did everything out of the ordinary. And I feel like that's why I got a raise to $10 at a point in time. But whatever the case, a bitch was doing her thing in that store, okay? The management was not all of that. And then once I started working at Victoria's Secret, because I was working at Bed Bath & Beyond September, and then I got hired at Victoria's Secret in February. Once they figured I was working there, they started acting funny and stuff. First of all, I don't got time for this. I don't have time for this. Because, you know, I cut my hours there for Victoria's Secret. But, you know, you understand in the other video if you watch that. If not, go and watch it. Whatever the case, I just didn't feel comfortable there no more. I have a child. So if I had to go get a second job, or I wanted to get a second job because I wanted to, then that's what I was going to do. Nobody was going to treat me no different because of that. Because I know for a fact they needed me more than I needed them in that store. Because people were dropping like flies, quitting this job. Nobody wanted to be there. And that's like, it was like one of the worst stores. It's like the biggest store in Williamsville. But it's like, gets the worst customer service reviews and the most complaints. And they just need to shut that shit down, honestly. But whatever the case, I didn't want to work there no more. They need to make the breaks longer. I think the breaks are like 15 minutes if you work 5 hours or under. And then they're like 30 minutes or 20 minutes if you work more, 6 hours or more. I don't know. Whatever the case, I was working there a lot. Sometimes I work 2 shifts in one. And honestly, all the work and stress and being tired wasn't even worth it. All the taking the buses and stuff, it wasn't worth it. I had to pay to get on the bus, and you know, if I didn't get a ride, I had to pay to get on the bus, and that was a lot. And then in the winter time and having to walk to the bus, I mean, it was a lot. The commute was a lot at that point in time. But I made it through the winter. You know, I was working there from September 16 to June 2017. So I almost stayed there a year, but I was ready to go. Honestly, I had to go.
Give me it. Okay.
I had to go. And that's pretty much it. Honestly, if you're thinking about really working there, really do some reviews and do your research. And I don't know. I've seen a lot of people come in and work and then leave before I did after I was hired. So I mean, I stuck it in there for a pretty long time. But of course, I didn't leave that job until I found a new one, which was the job I got, which was my 3rd job that I had got ever. And it was at a grocery store. And I can get into that video too. That's why I quit that job too, honey, okay? Because, listen, they had me all messed up. Everywhere had me messed up. Maybe I'll do that video tonight, or I might just wait till tomorrow, or not tomorrow, because I have a flight to catch tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it like in 2 days. I don't know. I'll try. So you guys can like get the connections as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. But basically, once I got hired at that grocery store, I quit Bed Bath & Beyond with an instant. As soon as I got home from that interview, I put my 2 weeks in. Right on that computer, okay? I was not playing, and I did not care. And I didn't even work for those 2 weeks. I had somebody else take my shift, so I wasn't being a complete bitch about it. You know, leaving them hanging, because I know, like I said, they need me more than they need them. But yeah, guys, so I mean, if you want to work harder than what you're getting paid for, definitely check out Bed Bath & Beyond. It's a perfect place for persons to work if that's something you're interested in. And I will see you guys hopefully in 2 days. If not, tomorrow. We'll see. And like I always say, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like if you like this video, if you enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below if you ever worked at the store, if you know what I'm talking about, if you ever applied for the store, anything like that. Any questions, you know what I'm saying, talk to me. I'm here to talk. And I will see you guys in the next video.